talk to me a little bit about your volunteer network. How does this work? How many people do you have involved? You know, what are you doing? Are these people driving trucks around? What, you know, what do volunteers do with you guys?
Well, right now we have a network of about 150 part-time volunteers.
Okay.
There's maybe 5 or 6 people that kind of on a weekly basis are entering data into a computer and making phone calls, that kind of thing. Lisa, myself, and our new executive director, Ashley Lapine, who's going to be running the day-to-day of the project after the end of August when my sister and I go back to school.
Right.
She is actually on vacation right now in Canada, but she'll be back on the 23rd, and she has some experience with foundations and nonprofits in Canada.
Okay, great.
So I'll give you her information, but like I said, we've really had help from all sectors of the community in various ways. I mean, when we've had fundraisers, for example, we've had different entities donating signage, and we had a huge bake sale. We had over 40 people bake
great.
treats and baked goods.
So this is raising actual financial resources because it's not just about the food.
No,
You've also got to pay for gas for the trucks.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to actually print things and do things and have solid materials.
Yeah, Joanne Cates of Creative Relations, who's also our board member. She's the creative director there, and she's been incredible. They've designed our logo. She's produced business cards.
Which is a great logo. It's two hands holding an apple or some fruit. I think it's an apple.
Yeah. The sign man created a banner for our bake sale, insurance management, in conjunction with Summit Insurance. They're also purchasing one of our refrigerated vehicles.
Okay.
And you mentioned about the task and that kind of thing that are going on at this point. Like you said, everything's sort of behind the scenes and data entry and soliciting new food donors, that kind of thing.
Okay.
But we've been running a brokerage program the last 5 weeks with 2 summer camps. Kids Up, run out of the Kirk.
Okay.
And Urban Renewal in the Kemp Road area. And they've been each receiving food from 2 Starbucks each, a Super Value, Goodfellow Farms,
Oh, wow.
And just in this period alone, there have been about 8,000 meals fed through these
8,000 meals. Okay, fantastic.
So, and they're called brokerage programs because in these cases the agencies go directly to the donors, pick up the food in their own vehicles, take them right back to their...
Okay.
So our refrigerated trucks don't arrive until the end of October.
Okay. Okay. So this is, in the meantime, this is what's going on.
Right.
Now, talk to me a little bit, because I know, again, if you go to their website, which is great, you can see all this different information there about who's donating, who's receiving, but the list of recipients was quite interesting because you had these different children, which is so important, these children-related programs going on. But you also had down there, I think, some of the basic ones: Salvation Army, Red Cross. You had the All Saints, the AIDS camp. You had a number of the religious organizations who do feeding programs. How do they partner with you? How do they know what you're doing? Is this just word of mouth, or how is this going on?
It's been really difficult in terms of trying to navigate the social services landscape, so to speak. Like, you can't really find a list of the number of agencies that are providing feeding programs or food. It's not set up like that. So initially, I had been talking to the Salvation Army and getting some insight into how they run. I mean, obviously it's a very well-established program. They've been doing it for a long time. And they, off of their Mackey Street location, have a soup kitchen where they feed about 50 people a day.
Okay.
But I think from that point on, when I realized if they're only feeding 50 people a day, it's really not a considerable number, right? And for one of the most established organizations to be dealing with, in my opinion, such a small number of people, it just seemed that there either had to be a greater number of agencies providing a similar service, or that was just a greater indication of the need not being met.
Right.
So then through, just like you said, on the ground grassroots research, talking to people in the community, Walter Henschel's Great Commissions, they have about 5 different feeding locations set up with shelters
one of the
banks, Bethel Baptist Church, Kemp Road, Urban Renewal is actually going to be a model probably for the rest of the other 8 urban renewals throughout the island.
Okay, great.
And Urban Renewal itself can't act as a feeding center because it's too small to build it.
Right.
But what it can do is act as a facilitator in terms of identifying the other churches or community service buildings in the area that have feeding programs and then facilitating it all.
And it's even better, I think, in a lot of these circumstances, if you are able to get these community sort of binding blocks involved, so then it does become more of a community issue too, because then I think a lot of the time people in the churches don't even know that there's people in their church who really are hungry or who have these issues going on, and it does bring greater awareness. And I know we're going to have to take another break, but one of the things I wanted to talk to you about when we come back is sort of this idea of, shame, pride, the issues that go, the psychological issues that go along with it, especially here in the Bahamas, where we are considered, we consider ourselves a wealthier country,
Right.
and I think it makes it that much more difficult to really sometimes get aid to the people who need it.